The poem Fog by Carl Sandburg beautifully describes how the fog comes stealthily like a cat and moves around like a cat and moves out like a cat. So, a comparison has been drawn between the fog and a cat, which arrives so slow that one can hardly notice until we see or feel it. The same happens with the fog. Nobody can predict about the arrival of fog. Fog arrives quietly, engulfs the entire place, and stays on for some time. It creates trouble, and it due to it we have it causes many hurdles and incidents, and but does not stay at one place for a long time. As in our life, our problems are over in due course of time. Similarly, fog also disappears, and it becomes clear all around. The fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. So the poet says that the fog comes silently like a cat, comes on its little feet, and just like a cat sits silently by folding its knees and looks around the nearby places and things, fog also sits over the harbor and the city, covering everything. Then, after some time, just like the cat moves on silently, the fog also disappears from the harbor and the city quietly. Let's move on to the poetic devices used in this poem. As far as the rhyming scheme is concerned, it is written in free verse, so no rhyming scheme is there. Next, we move on to the poetic device metaphor. It is a comparison uh, being drawn between a cat and the fog. So the metaphor is actually is a comparison without using the words like and as, because when we use like and as, it would be a simile. So metaphor is again an indirect comparison. Here we see metaphor has been used, like in the line, the fog comes on little cat feet. So in this, the poet indirectly compares the fog with a cat. Then the behavioral movement of both with fog settle over the city is compared to a cat sitting on its hind legs in the line. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. So in this line, in the poet says that the fog leaves the city as like a cat leaving a place quietly. Next poetic device would be analogy, where comparison of a fog to a cat is drawn throughout the poem. Personification is next, because human traits have been given to non-living things, like it sits looking over harbor and city. So this is personification. The fog, which is a thing, which is not a human being, has been shown doing the actions of sitting, looking like a human being. Next is imagery. Descriptive language has been used here. Simple words have been used to create a vivid description of the fog. Like the fog comes on, sits looking, moves on. So this creates an image of the fog entering, setting in, and moving away from the city. Then again, we have little cat feet, silent haunches. These come together to compare the actions of the fog to that of a cat. Last would be transferred epithet, which is like a adjective or phrase that shows or describes the quality of a person or a thing. When this attribute or the quality is transferred from the one it appears, it is used for to any other one in the sentence. So the phrase on silent haunches is transferred epithet. Here, haunches are not silent. Rather, the phrase refers to how a cat sits silently on its back legs. So, here we have all the poetic devices used in the poem. We also have enjambment, which refers to continuation of a sentence from one line of poetry to the next without pause or punctuation. So we see the lines, it sits to move on. This is an example of enjambment. That's all in this video. We've covered the explanation, the summary in the starting, then explanation, and then the poetic devices. I hope you find this video useful for your studies. Do like and subscribe to my channel uh, so that you get to know about my further videos. Thank you.